500 of ELPC's supporters and friends gathered on November 12th to celebrate our 15th anniversary at Chicago's Fairmont Hotel. ELPC got its start in 1993, and we've been working hard ever since, leading the fight in the Midwest to develop clean energy, solve our global warming problems, and protect natural places. The dinner was a great opportunity to celebrate with friends from nonprofits, the business community, government, and the world of public policy. Documentary producer Bill Curtis led a panel discussion on the future of clean energy, featuring an all-star panel of experts. And ELPC president and founder Howard Lerner led off with a call to action on the urgent need to address global warming.
We have the opportunity to lead the nation in transforming to not just surviving, but thriving, and to do it in ways that are good for jobs, that are good for the economy, that are good for the environment, and good for all of us who want to live in communities that are livable, that we call home. We can reduce pollution significantly from the transportation sector. The Midwest has been the center of our global warming problems. We can be the fulcrum for the solution, and it's time now to get the right federal legislation in place so we reduce global warming problems, we reduce pollution, and we provide incentives to the people and the industry and the businesses that are clean and green that are going to solve the problems. And let's not kid ourselves, this is not easy. There are ideological opponents that will use the economic crisis as a basis to say, put off action. Wait 5 years when the economy is better. Wait 6 years. But what the scientists are telling us is that we can't wait. We don't have a choice. We cannot hit the pause button and say, we'll come back in 5 years when the economy is better. Climate change is occurring. We need to take corrective actions now. Some of that can be done in ways that boost the economy and are good for jobs, good for business, good for the economy, and good for the environment together.
So our improved understanding now of the science suggests that if we allow global temperatures to increase, say, 2 to 3 degrees above their pre-industrial levels, we will expose another 1 to 2 billion people to water shortages. We might lose 20 to 40% of the species on Earth, and we'll have an increase in what's beginning to sound like the plagues, more fires, more droughts, more floods, and of course sea level rise. So 2 to 3 degrees, we're already 0.8 above pre-industrial levels, and you have another 0.5 in. So if you haven't had too much wine, that tells you we're 1.3 degrees. And I'm saying that those impacts are happening, it will happen in the kind of 2 to 3 degree area. And the countries that will be most effective will be the poorest of the world, the low-lying states, the almost 50% of the world's population that lives on less than $2 a day. So unchecked climate change, I would argue, will reverse development gains and will increase inequalities on the planet.
But what's amazing about where we are now is that we have the scale to be able to offer rooftop systems, parking lot systems, and power plant systems. We need all of the above. We have the benefit of a new administration coming in that will have undoubtedly an improved outlook on renewables and all the ways to get them to market. However, it takes time to build transmission, which we will need to do. And in the intervening period, and in a way to reduce our congestion, we can use solar today to do that. Just to put things in perspective, we have over 500 large-scale systems around the world representing over 400 megawatts. We are essentially a 3-year-old company. We went public almost exactly 3 years ago. We have the opportunity to move from 200 installers in the US. We went from 0 to 200 installers in Europe in 6 months. We went from 0 to 165 megawatts of solar in Spain in 18 months. The pace of change in the solar industry, as somebody who's been in the power industry for over 2 decades, is breathtaking. I've never seen anything like it.
It's interesting that another phenomenon, just 5 minutes ago, that Howard gave exactly the speech that I would have given if I could speak as well as him English. Because what we're talking about, what just makes sense. Renewable energy is about economic development right now. It's not coal, it's not nuclear, it's because what it does, we solve a lot of problems, okay? If you build coal-fired power plant, you don't solve a lot of problems. You basically produce electricity. If you build renewable power, you solve, national security issue. You reduce prices of fossil fuel. You basically clean the air. You solve everything in one investment, okay? And it just, to me, it just makes sense. Plus, you create economic development. When you build coal plant in one place, obviously you create some construction job, but that's what it is. If you build wind, particularly Howard mentioned Illinois, 6,000 megawatts or whatever, you may install thousands of wind turbines. You pay huge royalty to farmers, and operation maintenance. And what I said, the most interesting part of renewable energy, it lasts forever. When you build a coal plant, 20, 30 years, whatever, you don't know what's going to happen afterwards, okay? When you build wind farm or solar, it's forever. It's forever, and this is a unique part of this industry. It basically will forever. I don't mean that particular solar panel or windmill would last forever. You replace, you rebuild, whatnot, but energy resource lasts forever. It's a fundamental difference between renewable, natural gas and oil. You extract, it's gone. With renewable, it lasts forever.
Now, we're focused on what we can do with our information technology to get better information about energy to people. Why is it that all we get, most of us, is a paper electricity and gas bill at the end of the month? The only thing most people learn is how much you owe and where to send the check. Why don't we have real-time information about our energy use? Why don't we get to real-time control? Why don't we have a smarter grid? We've decided that there's something there that Google could be helped with at that intersection between energy and information, and we're exploring that as we speak. Both more information to improve energy efficiency, and also at the same time, a bigger and smarter electric grid, so we can in fact move the wind power from the Dakotas to Chicago, or from the desert Southwest to Los Angeles. We need a much bigger and better grid in this country, and I think that's going to be something that you're going to see the Congress and the new administration take up in the next couple of years. Your congressman, Rahm Emanuel, said something interesting the other day. He said something like, in crisis there is great opportunity, and I think in this economic crisis there is extraordinary opportunity to really fix our energy situation. There was a conference last week in Washington where the question was asked, will the economic crisis be the end of clean energy technology, or will clean energy technology be an answer to the economic crisis? I think the conclusion of that conference was that, in fact, it could be the latter if we really got our policy signals right, Michael, if we really focused on the opportunities that clean energy can produce in terms of jobs, in terms of security, and environmental protection.